Okay, whoops, there we go. Hopefully we have audio now.
Yep.
We got it? Okay.
Whoa, turn that.
Yeah, good. All right. Start this over. Welcome to the January 27th, 2025 Select Board meeting for the town of Parsonsfield. First start was a false start because our audio was not running. I think we're in business now, and we're going to go right to our town clerk.
All right. We had the 45-day notices sent out last week for the 2022 real estate tax foreclosures. Another round of the 30-day notice reminders will go out on February 4th, and this will go certified mail. We have a list of 17 accounts at this point, and automatic foreclosure is scheduled for March 6th. We did have a meeting last week with the Elijah Fox and Piper Group, and it went really well. And in all that discussion, they brought up a really good point because they did, when they went out and visited the Piper, was it the Piper grave?
Yep, the Piper Cemetery, yes.
And they would like to start or help start a Parsonsfield Cemetery Committee. Looking for volunteers to kind of help in springtime, go from cemetery to cemetery, get more familiar with Parsonsfield cemeteries and help clean it up. Maybe join Brian Fogel when he goes out and sets out the veteran flags. And possibly they thought it might be a good idea to get in touch with the high school students at Saucony Valley. Sherry Hasty said that she thinks they still have a community service requirement.
Yep, they do.
So maybe that might be some interest of some students that can take advantage of that before graduation.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what your thoughts were on that, or if you had talked to any of them about that.
I haven't. I've talked to them about volunteering for other things, but I can certainly bring it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. It's a great
I
community
do too.
service.
Again, my only concern is that these are private cemeteries. And 99% of the people who are around related to those cemeteries, or the people that are buried there, are going to love it. But the 1% that don't are the ones we're going to hear from. Because somebody's footprint was on this grave. Or, I mean, that's my only concern. We're basically trespassing.
Well, I think they would ask for permission before they, to the private ones.
I know. Isn't there a main statute that requires municipalities to take care of cemeteries where there's veterans' graves?
Requires you to take care of the veteran's grave.
Right, so that's what we're doing.
Okay, that's pushing the limit. I understand.
Yep.
I guess, yeah, I would certainly be in support of it if they,
We can look into it more, I think.
yeah,
maybe.
tried to contact descendants, because the descendants are basically the ones that would have some input there. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Just wanted to throw it out there and just
Mhm.
pass that on if you hadn't talked to any of them. So we thought it was a good idea. She continued, I guess. Just wanted to mention the plowing feedback that we received. I didn't want to go through it all. I just wanted to say thank you very much to the people that participated. We've kind of nicknamed this group the Plow Watchers of Parsonsfield. It's all anonymous. We don't keep names or anything like that. We did receive a good amount of feedback from residents, so thank you. A lot sent pictures, which was excellent. There were both a lot of compliments and then some concerns. So it was really good across the board. What the ending result was is we did generate a spreadsheet by road with information and provided it to the select board. The thought is that this will be an ongoing process. So if anyone that's listening that does want to participate, please feel free. We have the Text My Gov number, which is completely anonymous. You can text that number, send a picture, and just some information that we would love to include on our spreadsheet. If you prefer, you could email us or even message us on Facebook. The idea is just to get as much information as possible. We'd love to hear good feedback, the concerns if there are any, and just get some information across the board. And I just wanted to stress that your name and info will not be used. We're just using it privately to get some information on what's going on out there. So thank you for those who did participate. I did send an email out this weekend regarding the potential of having staff meetings. I just wanted to know your thoughts on that. Basically, Renee and I were talking, and there's just a lot going on in the office. Everybody's kind of filing in different times. There's no really good time for everybody to kind of get together, including, you know, you guys, even include the road crew, Maya and Jeff, the code guys. Eric said he'd like to be involved if that worked for his schedule. Renee, myself, Deb. Doesn't really seem like there's a lot of stuff to talk about, but you get everybody in the room and stuff comes up, and it's just kind of a good informal way of sharing what's going on in the office out there. Just open up the communication a lot in the office. I didn't know if that's something we could look into or not.
Certainly look into it. I would reiterate Jen's comment, which I had thought about but hadn't sent, and that is, how do we mesh that with the freedom of access requirements?
We used to have them in Baldwin, and the way we got around that was basically we publish in the shopper's guide with the normal meeting times and say, you know, I think they were Wednesday afternoons from like 3 to 4. And just say, you know, staff meetings in Parsons Field, and, you know, for instance, Wednesdays 3 to 4, and that covers your notification requirements.
Okay.
Okay,
Just
so it wasn't
notifying them-
closed, it wasn't,
No, it
okay.
wasn't closed. The office was open, and we did notify the public that we were all meeting together, so.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth a trial, see where it goes, what comes up.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe no agenda for the first one, but then, you know, seeing how that goes,
Or
or
let's not do an agenda.
No.
Because then you got to take minutes, and I think it should just be an open conversation.
Sure.
Yeah, it was just kind of like open up the conversation amongst everybody.
You can write your own notes about what you want to bring up. That's fine.
can we do it somewhere else, like?
No, we've said that all meetings have to be here.
I know, I went through that.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
something we could kind of schedule right now, or you want to think about it some more, or?
So, that,
Yeah, when are you?
What are you thinking, right?
Doing this?
let me pull up a calendar.
I don't know if Mondays, because everybody's scheduled to be here anyway, part of your workshop, before your workshop, or, you know, we'll file and kind of like bounce the counter, you know, still take care of people, or you want to do it later on in the week, I don't know.
Well, your schedule is tough, I think, on Mondays to get, you know, what would you just like to maybe schedule half an hour to start, maybe, and?
Yeah, I mean, what are we talking about for frequency? Are you looking for weekly, or are you looking
Monthly.
for?
Monthly?
Monthly?
Just monthly.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we can obviously balance it out with that meeting that I have every other week, so that it's not in conflict with that, but we can do a, 3:30 to 4:30 right before the workshop. You know, I can set the time aside and come over for that. Make it work.
Yeah, I know, and Jesse's here, we're all here. I know Eric is working, so that's why he's not here on Mondays.
Right.
So it might be tough for him.
Thursday afternoons, I mean, you're usually here. I mean,
Yeah.
Thursday afternoons work at
Yeah.
all, or that ties you guys up?
No, I don't think that.
At least to start.
To start, yeah? Yep. Thursday might be a better day.
Okay. We'll start in February and just take a stab at it? or-
Yeah, yep. I'm just looking at the calendar here.
We've got to properly notify. That's the only thing with the February one, so we'd have to do it.
You can do it at the end of the month if you want.
Yeah.
Well, then there's school vacation. You don't want to do it during school vacation.
I won't be here.
Okay. That's why you suggested.
Yeah, do it that week.
Do
Yeah,
it that week,
exactly.
right?
Yep.
Well, that's Maine's vacation. The following week is New Hampshire's vacation. And
Yeah.
I usually have kids.
Oh, middle? We could get it out next week if you want to.
The 13th of Feb. Let me just check this out. What's going on? Wow. I don't have anything written down. It's 2.5 weeks away.
Okay.
Oh, what time are we saying? What time are we saying?
3 or 4?
It's up to you guys. Well, we're here, so.
Okay, hold on.
You're going the 13th, is that,
Yeah,
that's
because
2 weeks from today, right? Or no?
2 weeks from Thursday.
From Thursday.
Oh, we're talking
Yeah,
Thursday?
Thursday,
Oh, what
right.
happened to Monday? I missed that.
Yeah, yeah.
Transition.
Well, we talked about people being here, being able
Yeah,
to be here, so.
because I usually come in on Thursdays.
Right.
So, as an alternative to the Monday one.
Yeah, okay.
Really, anytime. I'm here all day, so.
Okay.
Anytime
Just think
Thursday.
about it. We'll put it out on Monday maybe.
Sure,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it doesn't interfere with the Youthful Maine, because that's the following Thursday, because they would be a 3 to 4 thing, so.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Put it in.
Yeah, I won't be here the 13th. That's a good reminder.
You won't be
My
here?
fiance has double knee surgery the 12th, so I will not be here.
Well, we need you here. True idea. You gotta be here. You gotta be here, okay. All right. $27th?
That would work for me. Does that work for you on the New Hampshire vacation?
I won't be here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, my guess is you may
How
not be
about
around.
Right, right.
First
I know I
first
won't
week
be,
of March
right.
works, too.
Yeah, how about March?
Okay. Let's go to March.
All right, first week of March, how about that?
See March 6th.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Excellent.
What's the time? 4 to 3 to...
3 to 4.
And that way, I think Jesse and Eric are also here during that time too.
Eric's here on Thursday,
On
right?
Thursday, yeah?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it comes in at 4.
Okay.
Yeah, it comes in
Mhm.
later than 3. Definitely comes in later than 3, so
But he's usually here around 3:30.
3:30.
Yes.
So even if it's 3:30 is fine, yeah.
Yeah, he can catch the end.
Yep, yep.
Excellent. So I just have the tax collection updates. I sent you the information on the email, where we are at with the budget, some concerns I had. Basically, we're working on finishing end-year taxes this week. I do have a Maine PERS meeting on Monday with Kathleen. That's our contact with Maine PERS, and she's gonna walk me through getting set up on their portal. I have a Trio ticket out to get set up on Trio for that as well. And the foreclosure notices will go out on Tuesday. So that's keeping us busy.
Did you get the answers to your email about main PERS for the 2 people that you were needing either yeses or nos from?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Debbie said she's gonna work on it.
Okay.
Not the other one, no.
Okay.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, can't use that yet. All right, back to the agenda. Everybody's been through today's agenda. Okay with that?
Yes.
There are always some add-ons, I know. Yeah, those are okay. All right, and the minutes from January 13th. Everybody been through those?
Yep.
All right. Okay with them?
Yes.
All right. I remind you that we did not have a meeting last week, the 20th. That's why we're doing the minutes from January 13th. All right, let's see, I'm gonna continue on while we're going through that. The bills to be paid, we actually have 2 warrants today. One is from last week just for the motor vehicle check that goes to the state. So we'll be signing that. That was $8,100, almost $8,200. And then today's warrant is $90,283 and change. Now, I have a question, Danielle. Why do you want the insurance bill signed there?
Well, because that's the only page I keep. The rest I have to say to.
Okay, we're not signing
You're just doing the
individual
warrant
bills
now?
anymore.
Okay,
Yeah, so I'm gonna take that off.
good enough.
All right, good.
That works.
2 signatures there. Actually, put this on
And that
that
is
second
the
page.
rescue payment, most of it.
Oh, okay,
The
yep,
half of it,
yes.
yep.
Oh, I signed the wrong thing. I signed
Yes, they're
this.
very appreciative, that's for sure.
All right.
Oh, love the
Okay.
hair.
Ads this week, we don't have anything going in that I'm aware of. Unless somebody wants to tell me otherwise.
Nothing I know of, nothing you know of, okay.
Okay, reports. The only thing I have is at our January 13th meeting, I could not put my fingers on the reports from our dispatch. So the minutes reflect the total numbers, but just for the heck of it, the October totals included 11 medical calls, 4 citizen traffic complaint, 7 911 hang-up calls, which they have to respond to and make sure everything's okay, along with numerous that had 1 and 2 calls. Then November, we had 17 medical calls, 7 hang-ups, and 8 citizen requested assistance. And then again, a whole bunch of lesser numbers. December was a little quieter. We had 15 medical calls, 4 hang-ups. They had 4 paper service where they have to serve people. And the rest were just 1s and 2s. All right, so that's hearkening back to our January 13th meeting. All right, on to our discussion items. Plowing. We talked about this at our last meeting, that there was concern about slow response or no response to calls from York County Dispatch. The first thing that we recognized was that we are no longer dispatched by York County. However, that doesn't mean that a call from York County shouldn't be responded to. Obviously, somebody has called them, and instead of going through state police, who does do our dispatching, they called and notified, I guess, you, Danielle, as well as our plow contractor. Yeah, and there was no response at the time. There was response, it was overnight and later that day. So we have a letter that's going out to the plow contractor, putting him on notice. And it's fairly strongly worded. Says that basically you're on call 24/7, you've got to be ready to go out. If you're not ready, it's a breach of contract, which we consider this last thing to be. So I have not sent that yet, but I will send it as long as you guys are okay with it. Yeah, okay. Other than that, I'll reiterate what Danielle said about thank you to the plow watchers for information. We want good, bad, and just informational, so keep those coming. Okay, we got a...
On the plowing as well, I did
Yep.
set up time, just want to remind both of you and everybody, did set up time for next week during our workshop to meet with the plow contractors
On the 3rd?
on the 3rd.
Okay, why did I think the 10th?
Yeah,
Okay,
so I did set up time to meet with both of them, and I believe I sent it to Maya as well,
okay,
so that we can have them in here to discuss. I know Mark confirmed, I have not heard from Bill or Maya, so I'll follow up with them just to make sure that, you know, hey, you got it, you're gonna, you know, the expectations that you're here, and then we can obviously meet with them and then kind of go over frequency and how often we want to meet with them going forward.
That's right, we talked about setting up
Yeah,
an ongoing
Yeah.
meeting schedule.
yeah, you know, obviously don't want to inundate these guys with weekly meetings, but, you know, I don't think that's beneficial to anybody, but, we can get something, at least get something started on the calendar here, so.
See, this is, can I just say something? This is where people get confused. So you're including Maya. Why are you including
I
Maya?
was just gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
I believe I sent it to him, I don't know that I did or not.
Because we've been under under the impression that Maya is,
Yeah, he's
Has nothing
out
to
of
do
the
with
winter
plowing.
road maintenance.
He does.
Correct. No, I understand.
okay,
Yep.
but he's gonna come to a plow meeting?
Well, I mean, it's a roads meeting, right? It's not necessarily, it doesn't have to necessarily be, it may be, roads concerns. We don't have an ongoing meeting with Maya either, so
Right.
either, you either include him in a meeting with plow contractors and have it as a roads meeting, or you have two separate meetings, one where you're meeting with Maya. I don't know that I included him or not. I can go
Yeah.
double check, but,
I would just say if you didn't include him, you probably don't need to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, we got a contract from State Police Dispatch for fiscal year 25-26. Let's see, did I get that? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if they do any texting, so.
If they what?
Do any texting when they make calls, because, so that they could do the same thing.
I don't think it says anything. Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, just kind of going through it.
Yeah. So anyways, that has been signed. It will be an annual fee of $95.53. That's $9,553 for July 1 of this year through June 30th of 26. It's a 12-month contract. And we go from there. All right, Trio web update. I got a surprise today. I called, my second call to the person coordinating things at Trio, and he said, well, let me look at the schedule. And he did, and he said, well, if you upload files right now, I can set up your test environment. They call it a play environment. I wish they didn't, but I call it a test environment. By the end of tomorrow. And you can start looking at things if you want to.
Whoa.
I said, okay, and so what does that do to the big schedule? Because last I heard they were talking end of the year.
Right.
He said, well, maybe a month or a month and a half for going live. And so I said, okay. And he said, is there a time that we can schedule for training? And I said, well, I need to check with people here, see what their schedule is. And training is going to be the week that you may be gone, if you're gone that whole week.
I definitely won't be gone that whole week. Definitely
Okay.
not.
Are there days that you may be here?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
can you let me know what those are?
Sure.
Because I haven't told him formally
Okay.
yet. So we're looking at training the last week in February, and then going live, I think it's the third week in March or the fourth week, I don't remember. Yeah,
Would you close the office for that?
nope,
So both of them could? Okay.
yeah, no, they'll record it, they said, and it's available
Okay.
if people get tied up. And obviously, they are there for questions during the training as well as after the training, so. Yep. The only thing this does is throw a wrench into our budgeting, because we now have to come up with probably $6,000. And I'm not quite sure when. Basically, the contract says, where'd it go? Yeah. Well, it says somewhere that this will coincide with your startup. How come I can't find that? I swear it was right here on this front page. Oh, well, what it says is there will be no charges for the upgrade until the upgrade process begins. That's what it was. Now, honestly, I don't know if them setting up the test environment is the beginning of the upgrade process or not. I wouldn't view that to be the case, but they may. So we need to figure out where we're going to get $6,000. And I look to you two to offer suggestions. Yes.
So you're gonna have to do a special town meeting for
I think so.
solid waste contract, right? To have permission to
if you're sure about that, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't find it in the
Okay.
town warrant.
We gotta make sure those are in there when they
Yeah.
need to be. Okay,
There is another account that's got quite a bit of money in it that hasn't been touched, so maybe we can workshop it next week or something, because I think you can probably piece it together and come up with it with us,
okay,
without a
okay.
special town meeting
Yeah.
article.
Good, good. These are monies that we weren't expecting to have to spend until the end of the year after our annual town meeting, so we would have asked for approval at that point to spend the money. So, good news, bad news. All right. R 1954, portion of that lot, or not, that the abutter wants to buy. The person that just bought what he calls R 1954 wants to buy a piece that his surveyor said belongs to the town of Parsonsfield. We don't show it on our tax maps. So basically to us, it's not a lot. His lot includes that corner of it. So I've sent an email to Ben McCall, our attorney, asking if we can just deed this to him for a small fee or what. Because we would have no one to contact regarding the lot.
About who owns it, because, yeah, there's laws governing what if you
Yeah,
sell
but-
something, you have to contact, but then we have no,
To us, it's not a lot. I went back 28 years, which is the oldest that I could find tax maps
Uh-huh.
for. And it's like that, no lot. 28 years ago.
so maybe he really owns it when the surveyor's not,
That could be.
or maybe he owns it.
So I suggested to Ben, if we could do this, we would probably sell it to him for a minimal amount and just issue a quick claim deed, which is all we do anyways, which just releases our interest in the lot. If somebody else does have an interest, that's between them and the new owner.
It sounds so bizarre.
It is?
It is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can the surveyor provide you with the information?
Yeah, why does
he's
the,
looking at?
I would like to know why their surveyor told them it was the town's lot. We could
Not
ask
sure
them.
how much.
He must be looking at something.
Mm.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at that. Yeah, we can take that a step further, but we'll see what Ben has to say. He was out of the office today, so I hope to hear from him tomorrow. Okay, Tom Winter has offered to remove the lockers out here in the hallway. We had a brief discussion during our workshop about it. The lockers are not cheap and are not inexpensive to purchase new, so we're talking about maybe putting these out to bid for sale. I don't know, is that something we want to do? I would certainly be in favor of that.
Sure, I think so.
Tom checked with a couple of people and they were not interested, one of which had expressed an interest prior to this.
We could put an ad on the Maine Municipal website also
Uh-huh.
for property.
Yeah. If there's any school consolidation website that we could advertise on. I mean, somebody that's moving into a temporary expansion or something.
I mean, I always think Facebook Marketplace is great. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
Our webpage is
Our
great.
webpage, our
Yeah.
Facebook
Craigslist.
Yeah,
Just put it out there and see what
We got
happens.
Quite a few bids just by putting in the shopper's guide. I think there was
Yep, we
3 or
can-
4.
yeah, yeah,
So, yeah.
Those 3 things, and on our Facebook page. We can start with that.
yeah,
See what happens.
okay.
Okay?
And our usual disclaimer that we can accept or reject any
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
any and all bids. And do we want a minimum bid? These things retail out new at almost $9,000.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say that we won't get anywhere near that, but,
No, I
Yeah.
wouldn't expect that.
Yeah.
I mean,
ah,
I would say a minimum bid for all of them of $500.
okay, I would go with that.
Yep.
Yep.
Which still doesn't mean we have to accept something, even if we get $500
Right,
bid. Okay,
that works.
okay.
Who's gonna write the ad?
I can write it. If, let's see, shopping guide is Monday, okay? I may have time, I'll be in tomorrow, but,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, next Monday is when it by noontime is the deadline for
Right,
the following
yeah.
week, so, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Did Tom need a response from us then in some way, shape, or form to his letter?
Probably,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. You want to do that?
sure.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I said, but Tom has offered to remove the lockers, patch the walls, and paint the walls. And basically, he would only charge us for materials, which is quite a deal.
Who's gonna pick the color? I'm just kidding.
In my book, you don't match what's there. Something like this. We need something calming, not something that's gonna
Something
jump
that
down your
jumps out.
throat. Okay, let's see, we've had a resignation from the rescue board. We actually heard that it was coming a couple of months ago because Mr. Patno is moving out of the area and finally gave his formal resignation. So, we just appointed someone a couple of weeks ago, and
Yeah.
now we're looking for someone else. So if anybody is interested in serving on the rescue board, please let us know. Maybe we'll put that in an ad also. Might as well.
You can combine that with zoning and planning board as well.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so can you do that, Danielle? Okay, thanks.
I sent you the one
I'm
for,
sorry, and I forgot to put it in.
you're fine.
I'll use that.
Yep,
Sorry.
you're good.
That one.
Okay, let's see. Our furnace, our boiler, quit again on, was it Friday? Yeah, Friday.
Yep.
Fortunately, Danielle came in, although it would have been shortly after that that we got an alarm notification, assuming that works, that we had low temperature. It was the burner again. And the burner has been giving us fits for a while now. So we have some options. The simplest and least expensive, although not necessarily the best option, is to replace the burner. I'm guessing that might be about a $10,000 investment. I'm losing my voice. Another option is to go out to bid for a new boiler. We had talked about it last year as a possibility. It would be a propane boiler and would have all the things that we needed to tie into our water heater and other things, as well as we would require them to use as much of the existing piping as possible. I guess at this point, that would be my recommendation. If we get RFQs out shortly, we can say that we need installation this summer, because obviously we can't do it during the winter. I'm sure it will be many days that we will be without heat, so there will be a period where we be without hot water. But that's just the way it goes. So how do you folks feel?
Well, I'm also thinking that maybe part of the community resilience grant that we
Uh-huh.
get, even though it's already been put in for review and acceptance, which we should hear maybe mid-March, that in terms of energy audit, that's going to be part of it. I know people wanted solar mostly, but maybe this is also part of that that we could use money towards that come summertime. So it would be something I'd have to talk to the SMPDC about, but
Okay.
yeah, so.
Yeah, because I don't know what that would cost. It's not going to be a small expense,
No.
though.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
so I think quotes for more than what we've done today, telling them that at some point we want a furnace, we had the propane guys come, so,
Right.
yeah. I think maybe getting an idea of what it would cost, and then going from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's old.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense to go put RFQs in to get quotes from, businesses about full replacement and kind of get an idea of what that cost would look like.
Right.
But also you know, simultaneously talking to SMPDC about what it would take, you know, what could we do with the funds that were going, you know, potentially going to be awarded in that process.
Yeah, pretty much, they had to speak for quite a few of them in order to put the grant in, so.
Yeah.
It would be a question of how can we, you know, reword it or something,
Right.
so, yeah.
And just to even see if it's possible. I mean,
Right,
if
exactly.
it may be something that's not possible,
Right.
but I think we should,
But it could be the next round,
right.
right.
And so I think that's why we kind of want to look kind of at both options. You know, we obviously can do the RFQ process and, you know, include the caveat that we, you know, reserve the right to not select any of the quotes, and then, you know, if we find out that, hey, we can spend X amount from that grant,
Right.
you know, just to lower our burden that way. I'll take a look at, I know that senators and the representatives have things that they can, so you can submit proposals to them as well.
Uh-huh.
So part just to get federal funding for certain things. And I remember seeing things like, you know, furnaces and things like that on historical ones that they've done. So
Oh, yeah, yep.
you know, you submit a request to Susan Collins' office, Susan Collins then goes, you know, through one of her committees, funding to pay for it, and then, you know, it pays for, so that way there's no, you know, burden on the town. Like, so I'll reach out to her and see her office and see what that process looks like. I know that she's in charge of one of the big committees now, so
Right.
maybe beneficial for us to,
Yeah.
you know, kind of use that opportunity,
Right,
at least look into it, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
yep.
Okay, thank you. That's good.
Yep.
And I'm probably gonna ask for a quote just to replace the burner as well.
Okay, yeah.
Just,
Can we limp along with that for a while? If we
Yeah.
don't get anything immediately,
Right.
then we can put this resilience partnership in. That's a rolling grant
Yeah.
that, now that we're enrolled, we can
Right.
go ahead and get
Yeah.
stuff, so.
because the burner is what's been cutting out. I mean,
Yeah.
and the people that service it have said it's fickle. It's just old, the tolerances are way out, and it's hard to keep it in adjustment. Okay, good, we've got a path there. Cannabis application. We received an application from an entity who wants to establish a cannabis facility on Federal Road. We're still kind of determining how to proceed with it. It's kind of well, in the licensing ordinance, we put it on the town clerk to determine completeness of the application, which is really not appropriate. So we are going to come up with a simple checklist for the town clerk. And it may just be a question and answer. Do you have A? Do you have B? Do you have C? As opposed to them going through possible for the clerk. And then, obviously, if they don't have some of those things, they'll need to go back and get them. And then it would come to us, and it's already come to us. And we need to figure out how to proceed. Basically, we have, once the application is deemed complete, we have 60 days to go through a public hearing and our process. And then after that, we have a 45-day period to determine whether we're going to issue the license. So, anyways, we're still learning about this, and you know, it's interesting.
I think we know how to proceed. We just need some time when we didn't have that today to sit down, the three of us, and go through it and make a plan. So if we can, what time are the plow guys coming in next week?
5.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we probably.
So either before or after, we can kind of walk through whatever checklist we come up with.
Yep.
We can walk through that application,
Yep.
determine complete or incomplete,
Yeah.
send out, get the letter sent out,
Right.
and then that will either, if it's complete, then that obviously starts the 60-day clock.
It would be nice to have a place for the applicant to check off saying that they have a certain section rather than us, if they're not all, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the more so put the responsibility on them that they told us they had that section, so
Mhm.
we can check off on it, because we don't have time to read the full
Uh-huh.
application.
You
to
don't.
determine
We-
whether
you
they
don't,
have
but
that
we
Yeah,
do.
use or
no,
not,
yeah,
so.
we're not expecting that.
Yeah,
That's
we
why I
don't want
say
that from you,
It could
right.
be just a question to
Yep.
them. But giving them that checklist and then having them sign it, maybe that would be appropriate, I don't know.
I don't know either. We can
Yeah,
talk about
we
it,
need
yeah.
to talk about it,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So when are we gonna talk about that?
Next Monday,
4:30?
Yes.
5,
4:30.
4:30,
Yeah.
okay. All right, good. Okay, planning board appointment. If you recall, we had a resignation from the planning board back in either November or December. And the planning board has notified us that they would like to appoint Harvey Maycomber, who is an alternate planning board member to the planning board spot that is now vacant. I don't have any problem with that. That's usually how it's done. If there, I mean, sometimes we don't have any alternates. In this case, we do. So I would go along with that.
We also received interest from John Pepin,
Yes.
who was interested in being considered as a planning board member as well.
Okay. Wonder if
So-
you'd be interested in an alternate planning board position.
I don't know. I don't know if you talked to John.
I did talk to John.
Okay, and so I don't know if he was just interested in being a member or just being on the board itself.
We didn't really get into details. They said there was an opening,
Yep.
and I thought of him because he watches them pretty regularly.
Yep.
And he said, yep, he did, but I don't know what level.
Mhm.
I wanted to reach out to him.
Is there a
Okay.
committee application or something he could fill out, and he could maybe put his interest in that?
Yeah, well, there is a committee
Yeah.
application, yeah.
Yeah. Perhaps that he could do that, and then we go from there.
Okay, so which,
Well,
So are we holding off then?
no, I agree that I think Harvey goes to every single planning board, as an alternate, he goes to every single planning board meeting. In fact, there was one meeting where it was, when I was chair of the planning board, it was just myself and Harvey.
Yeah.
And so, it's, I think that, I think moving Harvey from the alternate position into the role makes sense. Yeah, whether we do that today or next week, I think next week would be the absolute latest that we do it, but I'm comfortable making that motion today and appointing him,
Yeah, okay.
and then we would sign it on the 3rd, and that way he would be a full member when they have their workshop on the 5th.
Okay.
could you also get if he is interested in the alternate position, you could do both at the same, right? And they could both attend?
Yeah, I mean, we can
I
also.
guess, I mean, we'd need to look at his
Yeah,
application.
yeah.
We-
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'll have that for you next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want him to come in and talk to us or anything, or?
Oh,
No?
we really haven't
Yes,
done
sir.
that. We certainly could.
Yeah, I mean, he's the only
We
one
don't
that's
do that for
expressed.
people who, we don't actually do that for people who get elected, like, in terms of
Well,
putting their names on
That's a
them.
little different. That's not us saying
Right.
you're in the position.
Right.
So I can understand it if you'd wanna.
I wouldn't mind just talking to him or seeing. I don't know. Do you guys?
No, he's right down the street from you. I don't know if you know that.
No, I don't know that.
He's in Stacy's old house. What was
Maryland?
his name?
Mary Stacy's?
No,
Oh.
across the street.
Oh,
I thought he was.
No,
over
he isn't.
Robbins Lake.
Oh, okay.
that's Blake.
Different.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Blake and,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, my mistake.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on,
Phew.
yeah.
all right.
Cancel that.
Okay,
Cancel that.
all right.
I'm off in left field.
Did you want to reach out to him? You want me to shoot him a message or
I mean, I can certainly reach out.
get the email?
I do, but I don't have anything beyond
Yeah,
his
his
name.
name, right. We don't have
Oh,
anything
okay.
beyond his
Yeah,
name.
so if you have an email or a way for me to get a hold of him,
Yep, I can.
Yeah.
I actually talked to his wife, so I
Yep.
can try and get a contact.
yeah, sure, that'd be great.
Good.
And then for a motion, from a formality standpoint, I move that we appoint Harvey Maycumber to fulfill the remaining term vacated by Mr. Jackson upon his resignation.
I will second that.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor? All right, very good. Will you draw up the appointment sheet, Deb?
Yep.
Thank you.
So he's taking over Alan's term.
He'll take over the remainder of Alan's term.
Yep.
It creates the opening for the alternate position now that Harvey is now vacated.
Do you
Right.
want that for
Same
next
for
week?
alternate, correct?
Yeah, please.
And so whatever Harvey's term was,
For the alternate.
yeah, whatever the end of his term is, we would then appoint for
Yep.
the remainder of that,
Right,
Got it.
of that alternate term.
yeah.
Okey-doke.
Okay. That's all that's on our agenda. We go to updates.
The only thing we didn't go over is, and I would have brought it up myself since we did get his email, was Cliff Krolik's, request to join the Community Power Alliance.
Did I not? Oh, I did put that on. I just missed it. I apologize. Yeah,
That's
it's right in
okay.
the middle of the pack there.
Yeah. And it's, he sent an email along with a video that I have not looked at yet. So it just came, so Friday. I don't know if any of you have, but I thought we could, if we have a chance, we can look at it at some time and then discuss it. And Cliff said he was more than happy to come in at some point and talk to us about it
Yeah.
as well. No rush.
Yeah.
We can wait till
So.
a workshop that we're free.
Right, so let's look at, let's see, the 17th is a holiday. Well, maybe the 26th. Yeah, okay, we don't need to schedule it right now.
Okay,
but-
sounds good.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah, thank you for,
yep, no, and he
Noting
was good
that
with that
oversight.
too. Yep. He was good with that.
all right. You have anything, Jen?
I think you talked about everything that I would have brought up as well. The only thing I do want to ask is, or say, that starting this Tuesday, Erin, is when the cheering starts at the town hall?
Yes.
Okay, and if you just maybe send me her contact information, just in case something happens, if that's okay?
Yep.
I will open up probably at 4:45.
Okay, I was gonna say, my wife's covering gymnastics tomorrow, so I can certainly be here to open up if you want.
Oh,
It's one of the rare weeks that I actually
if it's a rare week, yeah.
don't have to go to Conway tomorrow. So.
You don't? Okay.
So I can certainly do it
Okay.
if that works.
Yeah, sure, it
Okay.
works, yeah.
But I will send her information
Okay,
over.
Yeah, so that's good, both of us are
Yep.
available, so,
Good.
perfect. Thank you.
I'll piggyback on that. I wanted to talk about the gym usage form that I'd sent to you both back on the 13th.
I like it.
Had the rules outlined and sort of just a basic,
Yeah,
who's in charge, who's the contact people, the outline that these are the rules, they must be followed. If they're not followed, we can revoke your access, things like that.
Let's go.
Benson apparently doesn't agree with it, but
He's not following the rules.
yeah, so I just wanted to kind of get your opinions on that. I don't know if we want to approve it and get it put on the website.
honestly, I don't recall specifics, but I recall looking at it, and it's fine with me.
I think it's great. I
Yeah.
remember reading it in Baldwin, same kind of a thing a couple years ago, and thinking
Yep.
that we should have something like that.
Yeah, and it's,
Yep.
yeah, shameless, hand up, I directly stole it right from their website.
Okay,
So,
perfect.
yeah,
Yep.
it, obviously went around and moved some things around and changed the word Baldwin to Parsonsfield.
Yep.
But, got it all updated. So, yeah, so based on that, I can get that uploaded to our website too. I'll put it under,
Oh, good.
like, the events at Town Hall part of the website.
Okay,
Yeah, is that where the application for using,
I think it is.
is it? Yeah,
Yeah, I'll double check. I'll
okay.
put it in wherever that is.
Probably go close to that,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. All right, is that it, Jen?
that's it.
All right, good.
All right, and I had just two other things. One, new website. Finally got the ball going. I sent an email kind of saying, hey, where are we at? It's it's been a month, so
Paying money.
yeah. And so
Right, I got the check.
I'm meeting with so there are two people that I'm working with. One is the project manager, one is the web designer. And so the project manager, I'm meeting with her tomorrow. We're going to go over dates, milestones, kind of the whole process. She's the one that's kind of controlling the soup to nuts of the website change. And then I got an email from the web designer, basically outlined a list of things like, how do you want it to look, pictures, things like that. So a couple of decisions that I kind of wanted to talk to everybody about. One is we need a background picture. I think we should reach out to residents, try to get high resolution.
We have a slew of them. We did a photo contest.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a beautiful, actually, I wanted to switch it out, so I can't remember his name, but a beautiful, winter background of Parsons Field.
Okay.
I want to put on there now.
Yeah.
So before you might want to look at what we already have.
Okay.
See if you like any or
Yeah.
back out
Yeah.
there.
Let's meet on Thursday and
Yeah.
look at what we got.
Yep.
Okay.
Will we be able to change that?
Yes.
For the seasons, for instance,
Right.
if we do a winter?
Yeah, yeah, right, yeah, winter one in July would be, yeah. Remind us all how wonderful it was when it was minus 15 last week.
Right?
Yeah, so, yeah, let's take a look at those on Thursday
Yeah.
then, perfect.
Yep.
And then, kind of from our process standpoint, are you guys okay with me kind of like doing so we get 4 drafts of the website. Are you guys okay with me kind of doing like the initial draft and then getting that kind of created and then working with you guys to kind of make sure we have everything we want, content-wise? Kind of go forward? Okay. I didn't know if, I didn't want to just assume that I was going to jump in and like I don't want to take it completely over, but I think for to get a first draft.
Yep.
And then as we go forward, obviously the 3 of us can kind of decide, the buttons along the bottom. Well, that's,
Yeah.
and even more so, right?
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, everybody's going to kind of have their own subpage that they're going to be responsible for.
Yeah.
But initially, just get everything kind of set up, looking similar, buttons in place, and kind of get an idea of what the website's going to look like, and then figure out, what the buttons, what are the buttons along the bottom we want them to go to, taxes or ordinances or,
Right.
kind of the most used pieces.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay, good.
perfect. And then lastly, I got a request from Girl Scout Troops 1657, so it's our local Girl Scout troop. They want to place a box here they're collecting items for Harvest Hills Animal Shelter. So it's pet foods, blankets, cleaning items. They've got a
Dishes,
whole
bowls,
list.
harnesses,
Oh, a bunch of stuff,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, excellent.
And so they want to know if they could place the box here at Town Hall so that we'd have a place, sort of a central place where people could drop stuff off. They have very specific foods that they want. It's not simply just, a blanket cat food. It's a certain type of food.
Okay.
And so I'll get those lists and we can post them if we're okay with doing that. But I told them that I would bring it up and see if we were okay with it.
Yeah, I think, well, how long are they talking? Is this just ongoing?
No, this is sort of like their spring community service project
Okay.
for the girls. So they're going to collect the items, and then they're going to go forward and bring everything over as a group.
And if we get a full box, will they come clean it out
Yeah,
between the beginning and the end?
yeah. So transparency, the Girl Scout troop leader is my wife.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, I can certainly bring stuff home on a weekly basis if need be. Yeah, it won't be overflowing.
Yeah.
All over the place, so
Right
yeah.
right out front where the trees are, where the donation box was
Yeah,
for Christmas.
yeah. Yep,
So,
that'll work.
we walk
Does
in.
that mean that she's going to bring the Girl Scout cookie order sheet in as well?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, certainly, the cookie season is upon us. They had their
Right.
cookie rally,
Right.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, 'tis the season. But that was it. That was the items that I had.
Okay, I certainly don't have any problem with that.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I will let that troop leader know. She'll be very happy.
Moving Christmas trees, Valentine trees.
That's
I
right.
do like it. I do like the red on the white. I do. Yep. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. The first thing, and I meant to ask you this earlier, Jen, did you get an updated budget from Rescue? Remember, she was gonna do that night,
She did not send me one.
and it's been...
Yes, I will
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah,
add it to my
'cause
list. Yes, she said she would do it that night, you're correct, and we have not seen that. But there were issues, there were some
Yeah,
issues,
there
according
were.
to Mark, and,
No,
yeah.
So maybe they're reworking it.
okay.
Yeah.
You
They
wanna
are.
add anything with that check, like a letter or anything?
No, I'll call Mark.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I think, that'll get that through faster,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Okay, the other thing is our new phones. Had a Zoom meeting with Consolidated today. We have scheduled installation of our new phones for February 12th. I believe it is.
Cool.
I will not be here, but I will be here.
Okay.
So,
That's the week before break. Are you gone that week?
Aaron has double knee surgery
Oh,
that
that's
day.
the day, yeah, okay, yeah. You shouldn't have to do anything. There'll
Still
be
can't
some
believe he's-
brief training
Okay,
involved. How do you answer? How do you make a call?
got it.
There is online training that's available to all of us for the whole phone system.
Great.
Okay. However, what this all means is that they threw this one curveball and said, "Oh, do you have Cat 5 cable going to all the locations for the phones?" I said, "No." So Jesse and I are going to run some Cat 5 cables to 11 points from the
Wow,
room at the end to where
wow.
each of the 11 phones are going, 10 phones in one fax line. So we're going to start tomorrow, and with any luck, we'll finish tomorrow. We have cable, we don't have quite enough here, but I have a coil at home that I'm going to bring in tomorrow. And hopefully that'll do it. If not, we'll have to buy another coil. But for this, in the scheme of things, that's cheap. And I'll also need to buy some wall plates and connectors. And I think that's all I have. Yep,
Okay,
okay, very good. We have a motion,
I make a motion. The meeting is over and ended.
okay.
Second.
All right, no, can't discuss that. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, folks, we'll see you next week.